Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are a follower, you know I haven't made a video in, well, probably a year now. But it's an exciting day because we finally have Godforge Alpha available to us. I've been playing, it's been going on for about 8 days now, and I'm absolutely loving the game. So hopefully it'll be a while, but this is definitely the game that I want to cover on this channel. So as you can tell, I have not done any Rage videos in a very long time. So I was just going to kind of give you an overview of my account, but also kind of just talk about some of the stuff, give a little bit of feedback. I may make another video with some more in-depth feedback for, for Fateless to watch if they watch my videos, and just kind of give my opinion, my kind of first look. I've had a pretty lucky go. So, yep, we've got this little opening screen, and yeah. So, first off, the main thing with this one is you're really just doing the cavern. You've got your weapons. A lot of people are covering, you've got here where you can upgrade your weapons, imprint them. You can extract your imprints here from your champs. And then if you want to see any specific guides, obviously this is just an alpha, so the game might be very different. It might be slightly different. We don't really know. We've gotten pretty lucky with our champs. I've actually managed to get every legendary in this alpha so far. I actually just got my Quetzalcoatl and Anubis to Awaken 5 today. But, as you can see, there are some pretty stellar champs here. One to call out, obviously, Heimdall. Amazing kit, amazing champ. He's just absolutely busted. And actually, I've really enjoyed Hercules. Hercules in combination with Shamash, or Shamash, I don't know how to say his name, but they're a pretty sick combo. Because, yeah, we're not going to go specific into kits or anything right now, but just kind of some pain points for a lot of people. If you are interested in participating in the Alpha 3 wave, I highly recommend sign up for it. It's super fun. It's competitive. I've actually done a pretty decent job this run around. I have managed to clear the entire caverns, and actually I was going to show you guys because I'm pretty stoked about this. But if you go to the Hell Hades website, you can actually bring up, and here, I'll bring this over here and show you guys. So they've got kind of a Godforge link on there, so if you go here, I'll show you kind of how to get there, but if you go to Hell Hades website, he's got a little Godforge link here. You can click there, and you can actually see what the leaderboards look like, right? Obviously, we have some people who... I barely didn't make the cut for top 100 on here because I cleared 150 too late. So if I look up my account, I am sitting at 101. So, a little sad about that. But I did it, so I'm pretty happy. And then you can also look at how you're doing versus how the challenge stars, right? So I'm in the top 100 for the number of stars. And the final boss damage, I am currently... That's not me. There I am. There we go. 37th. For boss damage. I managed to do about 248 million last night. And yeah, and some of these guys, I don't know if you've seen this leaderboard, but man, Pancakes is doing 364 billion damage. That is just insane. I'm pretty sure it's because of some bugs and things, but they're finding the bugs, so that's what we want with this alpha. I'm not very good at that stuff. I'm just good at enjoying the game. So anyway, but yeah, so if you are going to go through here, right, a lot of people talk about, all of your, if you want gear, if you want to farm certain things, like every level has its own kind of, so any level that has a 1 is typically, so for the early, and I'm going to specify something because I didn't realize this until today. I've been playing it for now a week, and I didn't realize till today. Let me see if it's, where does it start? So if you click on the stage, and then it'll tell you what the rewards are for the 1-star and 2-star completion, right? So here you have to beat the stage, and then beat the stage while placing both Protect and Radiance on all allies, or on allies. And so if you do that, you get the completion. Well, if you click here, right, it'll drop. So here, okay, and this is actually a good point. So on the stages 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're going to get like helmets on stage 1s. You're going to get chests on stage 2. 3s give you shoulders, pauldrons. 4s, I believe, are gloves. Yep, gauntlets on 4. 5s will always drop the ascension materials. So you get ascension materials, and they all have a chance to drop legendaries. So that's how I've gotten all my legendaries, is by farming books and farming ascension materials, and then I've gotten legendaries from it. And then stage 6s have your legs, and stage 7 is boots, right? So that's your 7 main pieces of gear, right? On 8 is weapons. Weapons are very, very important to farm, because unlike your regular gear, weapons, you can upgrade your weapons with copies of your weapon. So if you want to get your weapon to 6-star, you need to get copies of it on stage 8 somewhere, and then on stage 9, so any 9, it ends in a 9, you can farm the materials that you need to level up that weapon and upgrade that weapon, right? Now, if you didn't know this, if you are looking for a specific type of weapon, so these materials, as you can see, I don't know what each of these, I don't know the names of them, but if you look on your weapons, right? So when you go into your heroes, you look at your gear, and you can look at the weapon, right? So this weapon has this little symbol on it, right? So like a good one, like a weapon I use a lot, very good weapon, Solar Flare. It has this little symbol, and again, don't know all the, there's not a good index to show you what everything means, but that is whatever type of faction this is, right? These usually are some kind of faction that the weapon is associated with. So when you want to farm that weapon, or those materials, actually, or the weapon, then you see how here this has that little symbol, right? So that solar flare, if I want to farm solar flares, then because this stage drops the materials for that weapon, then I know that this stage will drop that weapon, right? I don't know if you can get any weapon from any stage, but from what I've seen, you can farm whatever weapon you need and the materials here for it. So you just look at the materials that it drops and go, oh, that's the weapon I need. That's the type of weapon I need. So then you'll go here and you can farm that weapon. But as I was showing you, stages 1 through 7 will drop your gear. Now, once you pass, and let's see, where does it start? Okay, so once you pass, and this was something I did not realize. So stage 120, first off, is a pain point for a lot of people, right? It's very difficult because you have to beat the boss before he can do his ultimate once. If he does his ultimate and you are still alive, or if he does his ultimate and has more than 1 health, and I think if you look at the, where is it his ultimate? Okay. There we go. Yeah, so he attacks all enemies 3 times. If the Guardian has above 1 HP, instantly defeats all enemies. Ignores everything. So he kills you no matter what, right? And then, but if there's at least 1 enemy remaining, the Guardian will be, he'll die, right? So, with that being said, the easiest way, right? Obviously, like if you have a very powerful team, and I was actually going to show one of the best teams I've built. So the other thing with this is the more bounties you build up, the more gold you get. When your characters deal damage while under vanish, they gain double bounties. So, what I've actually found is if you take someone like Zeus and Shamash, which again, they're not hard to get, but you do have to get lucky in terms of either then just keep farming and get lucky. But if you do happen to have them, right, the best comp that I have found for this is finding characters that have multiple hits, right? And then Sphinx is the only one who has, let me make sure everyone has gear on. They should, because I have tried to not touch them once I've geared them. Okay. But Dracula is one of the legendaries that has the most hits in the game, right? And so what I've done is pretty much built a team where I have high attack here so that he dies quickly. Actually, let's do this. I want them to, has them gain affinity slightly faster. Nah. Actually, no, he's gonna die, right? So what you can do, and I'm gonna turn it off auto just to kind of show you guys, is Shamash here, when he attacks, he will bring the lowest ultimate meter, which is in this team is always going to be Hercules, because even when his ult is full, he has the lowest divinity, right? Because he only requires, let's see if I can, yeah, he only requires 475, where everyone else is 900, 2,000, 1395. Like, everyone else has really high meters to fill up. Hercules fills his all the time because his just boosts his health and he doesn't do much. So you can have someone like, all right, you can use Zeus to wipe out this wave. And then Zeus is also really good at clearing waves because when he kills someone, he instantly gets a turn. And if he brings Hercules in, there you go. That's why I bring in Hercules, because Hercules will come and wipe out waves. Now, what you want to do is try to get the most bounties possible. Honestly, probably could use someone better than Hercules, but because okay, don't want to use his ult just yet, and there's a reason for that, right? So I want Sphinx to do this, because then she puts Vanish on everyone, right? So now once everyone has Vanish, when I do my ally attacks, right? So Zeus, ally attack, they just grow. And as you can see, the boss just gets decimated. So it's really easy. And also, you can use ultimates whenever they're available. Like, it's kind of awesome. So then Shamash, he goes in with his ally attack, right? So now, the boss is already going to die, but you see his turn meter is barely full, right? Now, the reason I like this is, all right, now that we've done that, we're going to just let it go on auto, because the amount of bounties that this team can build is going to be in the couple of hundred, right? The most I've gotten is about 1,100. I don't remember if it was this with this specific team, and that's about 2 million gold if you can get to over 1,000 bounties, right? So, but now he's at 1 HP. He will not die until he does his ultimate, right? So this was a pain point for a lot of people, and myself included. I was stuck on this for about 3 days. I did not have a team like this, obviously, but it was very, very frustrating. So, and for that reason, I actually highly, highly recommend Wan Yu as a starter, because he may not hit the hardest, but he's the only one that has an A1 or a basic ability that does enemy max HP damage. And he was actually the one, like, I didn't start with him, but I pulled him and ended up building him to help me get through this level, because I didn't have Heimdall to give me kind of protection and help my team survive. I didn't have Shamash or Zeus. I think I had Hercules, but I didn't have him built super well, and also just he was not dealing this kind of damage. Part of the reason he's dealing so much damage, right? Like, you see, when he attacks on his own, he only deals about 80,000 damage. When he's brought in on an attack, you see there he hit for 700,000, because when he's brought in, the weapon that both of these guys are using lets me do like a 30% damage boost. So, needless to say, it's a very good team. But as you can see, right, he's at his ult, but he hasn't had a turn yet because I just attacked so many times that, there you go, 900 bounty, and oh, he lost a bit of ultimate, so I might even get to do another, maybe? Can I get to 1,000? Oh, did it, right? So, this is obviously, I think right now, this, like, pretty much if you have Shamash, Zeus, Dracula, and Sphinx, any third person works. Like, I like Hercules. Quetzalcoatl is also awesome because you get the speed, so you get potentially more turns. Or you could bring in Aphrodite. Obviously, you don't need a full team of legendaries or whatever. Like, this is, for me, it's just fun because, again, build up a ton of bounties, and he keeps losing just enough divinity to let me go several times. All right. Man, this might actually work out way better than I thought. I'm now curious. Okay, yeah. So, right, he's going to go, but because he was at 1 HP, doesn't kill me, and I have plenty of things. And there you go, 1,300 bounty. So, it's pretty good, 2.25 million gold. Very good way to farm gold, right? Now, once you beat that, and the reason that I'm even talking about this level is because once you get to these stages, right, notice here, now I get every piece of gear, but it's now specific sets, right? Now, it was specific sets in the one before, but if you're like I have been trying to farm, where is it? Like, this drops your, so I believe this is crit rate, this is crit damage, this is defense, and this is attack, right? So it's kind of like your attack set, your defense set, your crit damage, and your crit rate set, right? Which are good. Now, the higher levels you go, obviously you have a higher chance of getting like higher quality gear. So the higher you can farm, the better. Like, if you need gear, you kind of, from what I understand, a lot of people haven't been focusing too much on farming gear sets as opposed to just playing. And, you know, I mean, I'm trying to farm some gear sets because I'm at the point now where why not? But this is how it's kind of set up, where it's every set. Now, this is what I've been farming, is this octopus, what is it? The Kraken set, right? It's actually pretty good. It helps anyone who deals damage based off of HP, or if you're using a weapon like Heka, where you get attack based off your HP, this actually helps to build some very tanky attackers. But yeah, so just, if you didn't realize that, right, past 120, all the stages now drop sets, but they drop every piece of gear, which is awesome. And then if you can make it, once you get to stage 130 is when you can start farming legendary books. This stage is rather difficult because, again, there's a Heimdall on the final stage, and Heimdall is a pain in the butt. And the same on stage 142, I believe, I think there's a Heimdall stage. I don't know. 142 was a pain point for a lot of people. It's just, like, I'm trying to remember who's in it. I think I just go in with this team and demolish them. But I'm trying to remember who all it was, because you just, essentially, it's difficult if they get a turn, right? Because they've got Beowulf, they've got Quetzalcoatl, there's just a lot of things that can be very difficult if they get a turn. So either you have to bring in some good control, or, some really good survivability, because they hit hard. Once, obviously, I wipe the floor with them because my teams are pretty well built. But yeah, that's right. You have Heimdall and you have Pengu, and Heimdall here is fully awakened. That's why he gets to do his ability before, right, I even get a turn. So, yeah, this is a very... Oh, he's going to get a turn. Oh, well. Pengu is the hard hitter, so that's not terrible. But, as you can see, even with this team, they hit freaking hard. And even Aphrodite hits hard. Like, look at that. Nuts. But that's why you bring revivers. Well, he's stunned, but that does nothing for me. Oh, man. Am I not going to... All right, I'm going to have to take over. I think I changed my build a little, and now I'm... Yeah, once Sphinx gets the counterattack, it can be very difficult. Because she really does hit freaking hard. All right, let's... There we go. Yeah, once you get the Herc to attack, and you can take out the Heimdall. then it's a little more. Ooh! Man, those shields are just massive. Oh no, not my reviver. Herc's passive is amazing too, by the way. Where he just revives with full health and then goes in and whacks people. Come on. Oh my gosh. Okay, well see, as I said, it is a very difficult level. And I've changed my build since I beat it, which I might be regretting because it looks like Sphinx is just going to be a pain in the butt. Yeah, she gets that counterattack on. And alright, let's stun her. Oh no, she's not even going to because he puts redirect, which then makes you target him. And then she just makes life... Oh wow, I might actually not make it here. Come on. Well, I was trying to show you how, like I said, this actually proves my point. But this level is very, very difficult. It is like... And actually my Hercules is not doing nearly as well now that Alright, let's do this. Actually, we're going to stun Heimdall because I'm sick of him putting up those shields. Wait, what? Oh, okay, well, case... They made my case, right? So it's a very difficult level, and you kind of have to figure out how to get through there. Let's see, and yeah, that was kind of my thing. Now, a couple of the levels are bugged. In terms of you cannot do the 2-star challenge, right? Like defeat this stage without placing any buffs on allies or defense down on enemies, right? Now, if I go in, right, we're gonna use this team, but we're not gonna put any. We're gonna manual it, right? So there's no buffs, right? We're not even going to use our ults. Wait, does he do a buff for this? No, right? He just attacks everyone. All right, so he's going to attack. Why is he bringing in the wrong dude? Okay. But see, I've got no buffs. No buffs. I'm not going to use any... Whew. That's not fun. And, you know, and it doesn't seem to matter. Right? Like, I'm just going in with Hercules. I'm one-shotting the waves. I don't want to use his ult because I'm pretty sure that will... Alright, this does not put buffs on, right? So I can come in, bring in Hercules. He will whack everyone, right? I did no buffs. I did not do decreased defense because none of them do it. And it won't give you the completion. So... that is unfortunately a bug. And there was another one, I think it's 101, also will not let you... and some of those I don't have 2 stars because I haven't done it yet because they're either hard or you have to build a specific team. But this one, right, you have to, defeat the stage without using an ultimate. I've done that multiple times. So 101 and 149 seem to be the biggest bugs. And for 150... it's actually kind of fun because in order to one-shot it, or in order to get this, you have to beat it without him, essentially without him taking a turn. Because if he takes a turn, you get Blaze. And I tried to use there's a champ that does, I think it's Ward. I think that's the ability, where is it? Him, right here, right? So he's got the ability to place Stalwart. There it is. And if you're curious on what something does, by the way, you can hit detail and it will give you a thing, and then you just click it and it'll tell you, right? This hero is immune to disables, right? The duration of reduced to any chance to disable. Oh, never mind. That's not, I thought that was like block debuffs. Well, no wonder he got the thing. So yeah, I don't know of any way to block it. You could maybe use, there's an imprint that allows you to have like a 30% chance to reflect, I think. But yeah, so easiest way to get through that is to put in someone like Beowulf. So actually I had built Beowulf for that stage specifically, where I just built him to come in and whack, and I brought in my ally attackers, and I just one-shot the boss without him taking a turn, because between the two ally attacks, Beowulf, Hercules, and Dracula, they one-shot the boss very easily. But yeah, in terms of the game itself, though, like, it is an absolute blast. Highly recommend it. Fateless, you guys have done a phenomenal job. Like, obviously, I know there's a lot of things that are pain points in the game, right? Like, I wish to God that I could sort my gear at all, right? I understand it's an alpha. I'm not expecting anything perfect, but this, for an alpha, to me, is perfect. I love the playstyle. I love the characters. Like, it is a phenomenal game. So whatever you guys have been doing, please keep doing it. And some, I did have just a couple of things. Again, if any of you guys watch this at Fateless, and I'm assuming that this might be the case when the game comes out anyway. But one of the pain points for me, at least, and obviously I've gotten very fortunate. I've gotten every legendary y'all have in the alpha, and I've managed to book up a lot of them. But as you can see, I have had to farm so much of the 130 to get books, and I have hundreds of rare and epic books. But the drop rate on these is a little low. And I understand, right? It's not like I haven't had the energy to farm, so it's not a big deal. And I've gotten legendaries while farming it. So it's not even that. But it would be really nice, and I'm hoping, from what it looks like, and this is an assumption on my part, that you guys may have a system in the game where you can turn these books into these scrolls, and these scrolls into these books, which would be phenomenal. Like, that would be an amazing idea. And if not, that's an idea for you, right? Just, that would be a great way, because I love being able to farm books, right? I really hope that this means that you're going to have some way in the game to farm books, right? Maybe not the caverns, maybe whatever, but I love that idea, because I like being able to rank up the skills and do things. Everything else, I mean, sometimes getting, when you get to the later stages, and, like I was trying to ascend, what is it? Like, yeah, I mean, anyone really. If I go to, wrong place. If I go to ascend them, right? And, well, I guess, okay, green I have a ton of. But there's a lot that these small ones, like, you only need them at the beginning, and then towards the end you don't need them, and then you have to go back. So these would be nice to be able to go either way, right? Like, if I need small ones to be able to dismantle, because I don't want to go farm the small levels. I mean, I'm doing it, but just some thoughts for some. But in terms of the game itself, I think like, I don't know about all the bugs that some of these guys who are able to exploit are, but good for them. I hope they found all the good bugs and that they're helping you guys out. In terms of, I think, honestly, one of my favorite champs might be Dracula, just because of his animations. I love his animations. They're absolutely sick. I love his aesthetic is phenomenal. And just kind of like the teleport into attack is just super cool. Anubis got me through so much of the game. Like by the way, another bug / and I'll put in some tickets for this stuff too, but on his A1, right, attacks two enemies. If the enemy is defeated, has a 75% chance to place despair for 1 turn on all enemies. This happens a lot without killing the enemy. So it's kind of like he hits, doesn't kill them, but he controls the wave. And yeah, so that was kind of a weird bug where his thing isn't doing exactly what it says it's doing. Unless it's supposed to, then he is. But yeah, that's... And, another thing for some of you out there, when you're clearing some of these levels, and I can't remember, there's one. So it took me a while to figure this out because again, there wasn't much like explanation for stuff. But if you see one of these levels and it says defeat this level while putting a disable, the way I read that was, oh, there must be a champ that has a skill that's called disable that disables them or whatever. Well, turns out blue things are buffs, red things are debuffs, purple things are disables, right? So if they have, if it does a purple skill, right? So taunt, despair, confuse, those are disables. Just for, you know, any of you trying to 2-star everything, that was a pain point for me because I was like, I don't have anyone. Nobody does disable. What the heck? And then I just kind of realized like, oh, because I mean, I think it was because of the weapon. There's a weapon that you do increase damage or to when they have disable or something, and I was like, wait. And so it kind of put 2 and 2 together that a disable is just a purple debuff, right? But it typically prevents you from being able to use your ultimate, to use anything other than your basic attacks for taunt, or just not take a turn, right? Or potentially hit your partners. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, and as you know, there's not a whole lot to it. I will say it was nice and difficult once you got to stage 120. Before that, it was kind of just leveled, and then even 120 took some decent time for me to clear. But yeah, other than that, you know, the game is absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait for it to come out. I can't wait for Alpha Wave 3. I managed to make in the, you know, top 40 for damage right now, but I'm going to try to build a team and maybe hit that billion mark, but I doubt it. We'll see. I haven't quite figured everything out. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. It has been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully I will see you guys again with another Godforge video here in the near future. So, flame out.